folks, this is all the fruit, and I'm here on my quest to record the ancient fruit trees in the area of Triavna in the Balkan mountains in Bulgaria. Here I'm in one of the many museums of this beautiful old town. This is Daskalovata Kashta, or the Daskalova house, one of the more famous museums of the city, which has a big garden, like many of those old Balkan houses, and in this garden there are a couple really old trees. Here, for example, is a giant ancient cherry tree, over a meter thick. Yeah, it's definitely well over a meter thick. Not sure, but I think it could be 1 meter 15 or so. Also really tall, well over 20 meters. Well, and it looks like it's still hanging full of mummified cherries. We have a very dry summer again. So the fruits are actually perfectly preserved. Quite good. They are very tiny, as you can see. I'm trying to taste whether they are bitter. But no, it seems like they are sweet. They are not rotten at all. So basically what you could do is collect all those cherries from the ground, put them in a jar, and keep them for winter. That's what people here used to do. Or if it was more moist year, they would dry the fruits in special little houses. My grandfather used to have one of those houses, made of those big stones, covered with the big stone slabs, and there they would dry mostly plums, but also all other types of fruits. Giant tree, beautiful. Yeah, I think this is by far the biggest and oldest cherry I've seen in the area of Triavna. Here most fruit trees don't grow to amazing sizes. Most fruit trees stay kind of moderate size, but this one is, it must be over 20 meters. It must be like 25 meters. I'm wondering why they had such a tree in an orchard in the town. Because like usually you would grow fancier varieties. Here, I mean, okay, this is not a wild cherry. The cherries they look like wild bird cherries, but they are sweet. Interesting. Well, I mean, there are different possibilities. Maybe they just found those tiny cherries which tasted like domestic cherries and left them. Maybe this was a more widespread variety in the 19th century when this tree was probably planted. I don't know. Right now we usually have, we have a lot of old varieties here in the area, but the trees are not that old and the varieties are not that primitive. This is basically something which looks like wild cherries, but which is, the fruits are the size of wild cherries, but they taste good. Also, I wonder why they let the tree grow so tall. Okay, this place has been a museum for many decades. Maybe the tree was normal size before it became a museum, but basically you don't have a over 25 meter tree in your orchard. That's actually, you don't have that. Look at the other trees, like the apple trees are quite small, even the old pear tree is much smaller. It's really strange. It's really strange. I asked the custodian of the museum who just checked on me. They wonder what I'm doing here. I asked her how old the tree is. She said well over 100 years, but they don't seem to be exact records. Tell me what you think, folks. A tree that dwarfs the house, a tree that even threatens the house. I mean, look, it could fall on this beautiful old museum and crush it. Tell me, why do you think such a tree was allowed to grow in an orchard right next to a big, old, important house? Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and fruit-rich town of Triavna. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.